A veterans home in Yountville surrounded by law enforcement. Inside, a gunman has been holding 3 people hostage for the last 7 hours. And tonight, he's showing no sign of giving up. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Allie Wolf, in for Nikki Lorenzo.
And I'm Joe Khalil, in for Ty Steele. Now, hostage negotiators have been working for hours now, trying to talk that gunman down. So far, he's not talking. Now, all this started a little before 10:30 this morning at the largest veterans home in the United States. It houses about 1,000 men and women who are elderly or disabled veterans.
Now we want to give you a look at the scene here in Napa County. Authorities are expected to give an update in about an hour. There you go. You have those aerials there. And during the last update, here's what we know from investigators. They said the suspect is armed with a rifle and has locked himself inside a room with 3 employees. These are not employees of the veterans home, but of Pathway Home. The rest of the veterans home has either been evacuated or is on lockdown today and has been for several hours. The husband of a woman who was inside the home's dining hall, which was on lockdown, told reporters that the gunman quietly walked into a going-away party at this facility and took hostages.
The party, there was a going-away party for a couple of the staff who were leaving today. Today was their last day. They were having cake and, toasting and all that, and then apparently he just walked in with this rifle.
I want to remind you that the situation is fluid, so new information is coming into us. Last update we got was at 2. We are expecting another update from Napa County authorities in about an hour from right now. But until then, we're going to hit Fox 40's Doug Johnson.
Yeah, and Doug, you've been there all morning. What's the latest? What can you tell us tonight?
Well, unfortunately, we're not getting a whole lot of information from law enforcement. We were expecting to hear a lot more at 6 o'clock, which we do plan to bring to you guys live. But throughout the day, we've been seeing armored SWAT vehicles go in, command posts driving in, and ambulances going in. And then we've seen a lot of folks coming out, a lot of volunteers, a lot of workers that were in that area at that party. Now, this all started around 10 o'clock this morning when police say they got reports of shots fired. Deputies did arrive here within minutes, and apparently they exchanged gunfire with the suspect, who again is armed with some sort of rifle, according to police, but they're not sure exactly what type of rifle he has. Now, initially, we're told the suspect did release some hostages from that room, but he kept 3 inside with him, and hostage negotiators do know who the suspect is, but they are not yet releasing his name. That might all change at 6 o'clock tonight, and apparently he is not answering his cell phone. That's a number they did obtain, and they have been calling, and they say he is also not answering any landlines that are connected to that room. I want you to take a listen to what the CHP and witnesses are telling us about this situation.
And within 4 minutes, a Napa Sheriff's Department deputy was on scene and engaged what we now know as our suspect in one of the buildings. Gunfire was exchanged. It's not known at this time how many rounds were exchanged, but I am happy to report that as of this moment, there have been no injuries.
It was around 10:30. They came in and told us to lock our doors and pull our drapes and to stay in.
I think it's one of the Pathway people. I refer to them as whippersnappers. They're guys in their 20s with PTSD from from Afghanistan.
Yeah, and we have been hearing that rumor a lot, that this is this shooter here, the person with the gun, is somebody in that Pathway program, but we have not been able to confirm that yet. Police are not releasing that information. We know relatively nothing about the shooter except that it is a male, and that, again, they have 3 hostages. We don't know the conditions of those hostages. We don't know the ages or who those hostages are, if they're workers here or if they were someone that was at that party. But again, this sounds like it was a going-away party for some employees here that was supposed to be happening in that room, and that's where the shooter walked in. And we don't know the condition of those 3 hostages, but we do know that everyone else is okay. Although there was gunfire exchange between deputies and the shooter, as far as we know, everyone else has not been injured or hurt. So some good news there. But again, we don't know the condition of those 3 hostages inside. Reporting live in Yountville tonight, Doug Johnson, Fox 40 News.
All right, Doug, thank you. Now, Doug did mention that we're just starting to get some information about the person who police believe is behind this, authorities. And we heard from State Senator Bill Dodd. He represents this area, and he says that he was told the suspect is a veteran enrolled at the program's Pathway Home. The program is run privately, and it treats veterans specifically of Iraq and Afghanistan, of the wars there, who are struggling with PTSD. Now, Senator Dodd says that the gunman had been asked to leave that program earlier this week.